What's up, y'all? So for the Atlanta Dream fans, I know that there is a postseason bullshit conference or whatever. Y'all gotta give me time. I'm still fucking livid with them. We will get to that eventually. Today was media day, and as y'all know, I cover the Brooklyn Nets. It's one of my jobs, so I did that. But I couldn't help but just peep a little bit at what the Hawks are doing. I know I could have just probably turned on the TV and watched their shit, but it's like everyone's media day was at the same time. So I didn't get a chance to sit down and watch the Hawk shit, but I did watch a couple interviews I found on Bleacher Report from Trae and shit like that, and I just wanted to just speak my 2 cents on things real quick. Again, I'm half covering the Hawks, but not really. I just wish there was a world where I could cover the Hawks and be paid for that too, so that I could not have to do other shit. But that's not either there. But anyway, let's get to just some brief shenanigans. I am not entirely sure who is on the roster at this point. I know there's been a lot of movement. I feel like 1 second Patty Mills is here, and then the next second he's not. My main concern, and folks touched on it a little bit, and I'm glad y'all are being nicer to Trae, because y'all don't want that motherfucker to go. We will be fucked if he leaves, but that's not here nor there. Trae alluded to, because someone asked him, you don't have your lob running mate John Collins anymore. And I know this John Collins topic is such a controversial, hot button issue in the Hawks community. I don't fucking understand. I don't know why y'all hate that nigga so much, but that's not here nor there. But when asked, now that you don't have your running mate anymore, is it gonna be a different type of approach? And Trae, being the fucking god and professional he is, simply stated that, there's still a lot of forwards who are on the team who are capable of, running down the court, and maybe they don't have the ups that John Collins has, but it'll be lobs to layups and shit like that, and crazy finishes around the rim. And that's obviously a great thing to speak on. Again, I didn't follow the Hawks in the offseason like that because I was covering the Dream and shit like that. So all of the offseason acquisitions and lack thereof, I didn't really have my finger on the pulse of. But to my understanding, we do have forwards who have just kind of been chilling, and this is their moment to step the fuck up. I feel like the default is just saying it's Saddiq Bey at 4, but there's other fucking options here. I mean, you could slide Hunter's bum ass to the you know what I mean? I feel like there's options here. Could this be the year that we finally let Bogey start? Is this the year for that? I don't know. I'm just curious. I'm just throwing shit out there. All I'm saying is I am genuinely concerned about that aspect of the team specifically. I know Trae was speaking to the greatness of Quinn Snyder and how offensively that cokehead ass nigga is able to come up with schemes that make it very difficult to be guarded. My question is, what are we going to do on the defensive end? Because while y'all shit on John Collins and say he couldn't score for shit on his own, which, I mean, that motherfucker went from a second option to a third option to a fourth option. I mean, he was behind fucking a Conway at one point on the fucking pecking orders of how many shots you can get a game, but that's not even there. We'll take his offense and thereof at times aside. I want to know what is going to happen in terms of the balance of the team, because y'all can sit there and talk all the shit you want, but when I looked at last year's roster and I looked at what we could have had minus some injuries and obviously firing a coach halfway through the season, whether he was ass cheeks or not, what we could have just ran back, especially with the fucking return we got for John. You're talking about a starting lineup of Trae Young, DeJounte Murray, Hunter, John Collins, Clint Capella. That shit is flawless. And when you look around at everyone in the league and you look around at all the various teams, it's the cores that stay together that end up winning championships. Now, maybe you don't get this shit on the first try. Maybe you flame out in the first round a couple times. But I mean, look at fucking Denver. And I know Denver is the punching bag of the league, everyone just always like alludes to like, oh, and look at Denver, who knows you, blah, blah, blah. It's fucked up. They're getting treated like the Dallas Mavericks in like 2011 and shit like that. That's fucked up, but fuck Denver. You know what I mean? I don't feel bad for them niggas. My thing is, I don't know why you break that shit up, especially when there was no fucking return for that. Niggas was chomping at the bit for John Collins and other cities, and we basically gave him to Utah for nothing. Trey didn't even get a third wife out of it from the polygamy ranches in Utah. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't get shit for that. That was John fucking Collins, and we didn't get shit back. Now, y'all can say, oh, we moved off his contract and blah, blah, blah. For what? Did we land Damian Lillard? Did we get Drew Holiday? Did we get Kristaps Porzingis? Did we rack up on this sweepstakes of niggas just playing musical chairs with teams and shit like that? Did we get fucking Zion? Did that finally go through? No. So what the fuck was that for? And I'm just curious because I want to know, what is the replacement plan? Are we just saying youth movement? Because that smells like a rebuild to me. I know if you talk to Tajante and a lot of them other niggas, they'll sit there and say, you know, nah, we good and blah, blah, this and blah, blah, that. I am just concerned at the lack of movement with this team for basically, and I guess the addition of DeJounte Murray was a big deal, so I won't include last summer. I'll give them that. They had a fucking pulse last year. But the fact that the niggas just sat on their hands and said, hey, Utah, here's John Collins. No, we good, you got him. That's fucking crazy to me. When everybody got better and we took a step back, if we traded him for someone, like if we kept Rudy, that's still nasty. I can't even say what I was gonna say. If we got some hardcore ass nigga back, like if we gave John Collins to the Warriors and got back Draymond Green or something like that, I say, okay, I see what you're cooking. But we didn't get shit back for him. And it's fucking training camp. The preseason is next goddamn week. And we're sitting here having conversations. Is this that Johnson nigga finna, you know what I mean? Like I'm just a little bit concerned. I'm a little bit curious as to what the fuck the plan is here. I think it would be absolutely foolish to waste another year of Trey. This nigga is like entering his actual prime right now. He's going to have a crazy bounce back season. He's going to go fucking nuts. Tajante's locked the fuck in. Clint Capella back in action. I know y'all gonna fuck with him for some reason, but you know, another year of a call. Like, you got them niggas. But when you start to break up the core slowly but surely, when the success rate wasn't even that high to begin with, I just get concerned. Y'all can talk all the shit you want, but I bet y'all niggas wish we had Kevin Huerter, don't you? I bet y'all niggas wish we had Red Velvet, don't you? You see the shit that he was fucking doing, lighting the goddamn beam, and they ran up against the fucking Warriors. I am simply saying that we are getting eerily close to fucking this up and not having much of a return for it. Keep the goddamn general core, improve things around it, and keep it pushing. I just think it's alarming the fact that the Hawks did butt fuck nothing this summer outside of give away John Collins for nothing. If that's not concerning to you, nigga, I'm just talking to a wall at this point. But let me know your thoughts down below. Let me share with me the fun stories you have of Media Day, because we're not a big market team, so, you know, we don't really have the media attention that, say, the Brooklyn Nets do or some shit like that. So it's a little bit harder to find out what the fuck is going on, but let me know some shit down below. Are you ready for this shit? Let me know. I'm Seven the Bond. You're on Hoodie Fish. Atlanta basketball coverage is fucking year-round. But I'll keep covering the Hawks until it's time to lock in with the Nets. But I'll see you motherfuckers later.